Okay, it is trail cam season. You know, it is the time of year that you got to be putting them out. You got to be putting in some hours, doing some driving, getting those suckers out. And, you know, I wanted to do a video based on a few things. And if you look at the cost of trail cams, I think it would be interesting once I show you guys the breakdown here of just truly how much is involved in running trail cams and running them effectively, and what happens if they fail. Like, how much money did you just waste? And the benefits to maybe putting multiple out at one time, and just what that does from year over year cost. And then really too, once you buy a trail cam, if it lasts you multiple years, how much value or how much do you how much does that cost you then to repeat, use, and put out year over year? So, you know, I kind of broke it down, and I used some general figures here just to kind of paint the picture. And obviously there's trail cams out there of all sorts of price points. You know, I picked up a handful of cameras between, say, like $55 for the Muddy Pro MP16 or something like that, to, like, you know, $200 cameras. You know, some of the higher end cameras, the Exodus, the Lone Wolf Custom Gears, and looking at what it does on a per camera cost basis. And so I did this obviously with the public land perspective, and so that does require a few more things, but I think in general a lot of people can grasp what we're doing here. So I have a spreadsheet in front of me that basically has a breakdown, and if we look at this, there are a couple things to note. Is I have a $55 camera that I kind of break down, and a $100 camera. Those are nice round numbers, easy to use. SD cards, I looked up some prices on Amazon. Generally you can get 16 gigabyte cards. It's a pretty popular size card to run, allows you to do a little bit of photo, video. But when you buy the packs on Amazon, that tends to be a little cheaper. So we have that. I actually priced those out at about $5 a card. I'm just going to use round numbers. It's just easier that way. Looking at mounts, because we mount our cameras on public land, we have elevated sets. There's an additional cost there. Now, not everybody has that, so just subtract $10 because that's what we put in here for that value at the end of this. But, you know, you can buy $6 HME mounts and they work. You can find those on CamoFire, or you can, you know, spend up to like 15-20 bucks for like a stick and pick. And true, you get what you pay for as far as easy use and just a better quality product there. We kind of have a gamut of everything. Mileage and gas to put these out. I think this is an important call out. The round numbers I use, I said, okay, most guys probably drive anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour and a half to hunt. So I said 50 miles. You know, that's a nice round number. Let's say the average truck, mid-size SUV, 17 miles to the gallon. Let's look at $3.10 is the price of gas when I filled up last. So one way there and back, so you drive there, put out cams, you're looking at $18.23, you know, to just deploy your cameras. Obviously, if you're running these cameras, you're going to do some sort of card swap or whatever, and I think that's important to note. So I threw in another $5 to run the camera. So looking at these cost figures on the $55 body camera, you have batteries as well. I don't think I covered this one, batteries. I looked at generally there's prices between, say, 35 to 43 cents of alkaline bulk buys on Amazon. I didn't want to do this with lithiums because I don't run lithiums unless it's super late in the year and I need those cameras to function in the cold temperatures. So for this breakdown, I have 43 cents a battery. I think that's the Energizer price for like a bulk pack, 48 from Amazon. Bottom line, that's costing you 8 batteries in that camera, $3.44. Okay, so to deploy $55 camera, single camera, you know, you bought that thing for $55. You're gonna go put it out. You're gonna have a battery swap. Just to deploy that camera, it's actually gonna cost you $91.67. So, you know, that's a pretty common practice. So total fall, you know, to get you to the fall, to literally run your cameras from June to August, September, and do a swap right before the season, that's going to cost you 118 bucks and change just for a $55 camera. Obviously, you have the raw purchase there. I do have a note here. If you're already on the camera, you don't have some of these second tier like items. You don't have to buy the mount this year. You don't have to buy the extra SD cards. If you already own everything to get your cameras essentially ready for fall, One deployment's going to cost you $43. That's just batteries and gas. Wait, let me. Oh, okay. Yeah, to get them ready for fall with a swap in there. So 2 sets of batteries there and back, and change those out. You're looking at $43. Now let's go ahead and jump to the $100 camera, and similar breakdown. Bottom line, you're starting with a $100 camera. You have all the same math, 43 cents a battery, 8 of those in that puppy, a SD card for $5, $10 a mount, 18 bucks in gas just to deploy. Just to deploy, you're looking at 136 bucks. And this is kind of interesting once you get to like the total deployment, card swap in August. You're looking at 163 bucks for that $100 camera. And why that should be noted is, okay, so the difference in price is 45% if you have a $55 camera and a $100 camera. But by the time you do all the work, you have equal gas parts, you have equal, SD cards. The price at the end of all that is actually only 28% difference. If you don't follow that math, I get it. That's not for everybody. But let's look at the big picture. Okay, let's say you've got 5 cams, okay? Because let's be real, half these cams are going to fail on public land, especially when you mount them. Cams in general, you have ants, SD card issues, batteries, a twig blows in front of it and fails. So when you go to a piece, you're always better off to essentially do more work or put more cams out, just knowing that you're going to have some failures. And plus, you want more eyes. If you're going to try and find that buck, more eyes is never a bad thing. So looking at the spreadsheet breakdown, let's say you purchase 5 $55 cameras, breaking through the run through I just went through as far as 17 miles a gallon, 3 blah blah. Okay, so what's that looking like from the big picture? One, you're going to spend 275 bucks in just cameras. That's 5 of those cams. Batteries, 17 bucks for those. SD cards, 25 bucks just for having one SD card in all those cams. Mounts, that only applies to about half the population. We have $10 a mount here. That's 50 bucks. Gas. Now gas per camera it becomes more efficient versus when you only had one camera, it's going to cost you 18 bucks essentially to put one out. But if you're going to put 5 out, it's 18 bucks over the 5 cameras. So it's like $3.06 a cam. As far as just to deploy these cameras, your cost per camera just to go set them out is actually much reduced. When we only had one camera, it was costing us 91 bucks. But when you have 5, you're splitting up the gas price. So now each individual camera just to deploy them is $77. Now to get them full ready for fall, one camera, one $55 camera, it's 118 bucks versus one fall camera. If you're going to put out all 5 one day, you're looking at 89 bucks. So kind of a cool breakdown there. The total though to run 5 cams, if you're going to buy 5 cams, put them out, prep them for fall, do a card swap August, September, you're looking at 445 bucks. So definitely not a cheap hobby. You got to kind of think that intel, is it worth it? Now, the cool thing, if you already own cameras and have SD cards, all you're doing is batteries and gas, you're looking at 14 bucks to put out 5 cameras. Like that's what the price is per camera. That's just gas, batteries. 5 cameras driving 50 miles, not bad. So having cameras that are going to hold up might be something you consider if you look at purchase. You might look at durability as a bigger factor because the longer you run them, you're essentially running them at that $14 rate every year. Just a quick breakdown here, the $100 cameras. Obviously, you got $500 in raw costs. To go ahead and deploy a $100 camera, if you're going to put all 5 out at once, it's only going to cost you 122 bucks, all said and done. To note here is kind of the cool thing. Once you have those cameras, if you already have $100 cameras, you're still only spending 14 bucks to deploy 5 of those per camera price. 14 per camera, which is cool. That's just batteries, SDs. That's so. Oh, I guess one final thing before we wrap up the video here would be, I think it'd be cool to leave a comment as far as your favorite budget trail camera. I think that's a price per performance. I think that's always something I think the public land deer hunter who may get some cameras stolen every year is looking for. So yeah, go ahead and leave that in the comments, and thanks for watching.